Hi, it's me, your girl, Icy, and welcome back to a new unboxing of a new Monster High doll. First of all, yes, River is been out for a while now, but she's still so new that I definitely can and will talk about her since I just love her design, but her design is obviously not entirely flawless. So we are going to talk about this. And her box is actually so big that I'm filming this right now in zero point 0.5. Like I'm filming this at a wide angle so that I can get most of her box in one shot because we have to talk about the box and obvious things about the box. So, the first thing is that the front is very, very, very reflective, as you can see. Um, Also, the box has a very weird shape, and also, the box has an almost entirely clear front. The only things that are not see through is the little rainbow ish Collector written up here and the rainbowish writing down here, which says that River Styx is a Collector doll. And yeah, her box is like at an angle inwards, not a rectangle, but an angle, so it looks like it's more happening in that room. So yeah, that's the front, and on the sides, we have for one part, first of all, we have a very great rainbow effect going on, and there is actually stuff written on here. I hope you're able to read it. And if not, then I'm definitely going to read it to you. There is written, "Time is running out to RSVP to the afterlife party of the millennia. Come to an of the scythe soiree that will make even deceased remains rise from the dead. River Styx just got her scythe, which means this RIP Reaper in preparation is graduating to full on Reaper status. Watch out, Underworld. There's a new transporter of souls in town, and she's giving scarily stylish specter because who says voyaging to the afterlife can't be fun? Celebrate River in your most well executed lurks and prepare to dance until your bones rattle. Overcharge one coin for boat fare and from the celebration. Solids as well as ghosts are invited, and on the very bottom it says River Styx. And that is basically the story of this river because in her past, River was a student to be a Reaper, and now she has graduated, which means the ghouls from our main school will also graduate at some point. Anyways, this is one side of her box, and on the back we have a very beautiful picture of the doll in full and very big, like a close up shot. And on the other side, we have a little picture of her where we can see her in full. And yeah, that's basically it. On top of the box, we have a little holographic Collector window, Skeleta window going on. And on the bottom of the box, it interestingly enough says nothing. This box does not have your usual uh, produced in China, blah blah stuff on it. This box has nothing on it. Not on the back, not on top, not on the sides. So yeah, very unusual. But yeah, that's basically her inbox. I also have her original doll here, but not complete. I am missing one of her bracelets and I'm missing her cape, so I cannot compare her to her cape. And I also am missing her staff. So I also cannot compare her staff to the scythe, but I have the base doll here, so we can compare her base doll to her now Collector fully graduated version. But to do that, I'm going to have to take her out of her box. So I'm definitely going to do that. I also have to mention a few things about the box itself. There are a lot of AI allegations, and I'm personally play into those allegations because I think that they used at least some form of AI to produce this doll's background. I am also very, very, very disappointed because it looked like we would we would get a big hourglass for ourselves to stand up and display, but no, the big old hourglass is only here in the box, and sadly, it is just a glued on piece of plastic where a lot of glitter is inside. I am thinking about getting the glitter out of there and into an actual hourglass so that I have an actual glittery hourglass that I can use. But we will see how well I can remove the hourglass from the actual cardboard piece. So, yeah, let me get River out of her box finally so that we can compare her to her space doll, which I also have right here. But more on her as soon as I got this River out of her box. So give me a quick minute. I will be back very, very soon. Oh, by the way, I was wondering where River's stand was because she obviously comes with a stand. And the stand parts are hiding behind her. They are hiding behind her. Like, let me show you real quick. So obviously I'm just getting her out of the box at the moment, and I was like, I removed her cape, and like the stand base basically was behind her cape, and here you can see that they did hide the expendable stand. They are hiding it behind her, and they really did hide this very clever, because I was like, how did they manage, and where did they put her stand? But now we know it's hiding behind her cape. Before I show you the Riverdale, I wanted to show you the stand. The stand is almost the same as the Alien doll stand. It is the newer saddle stand model with the legs to stay in place and the way a less curved design for the doll to actually sit on. And it's also, I extended it already, but it's also one of those expandable stands where you can make the stand tall or small, depending on if you want River to stand or float. And I will display mine floating, so I'm going to put the stand in the most uppest position. And the next thing I wanted to show you before I show you the River doll is River's scythe, but I'm zoom in a bit more. And this is River's scythe. And yes, it's a piece of plastic, but it is a very well thought through piece of plastic. It has a little blue shine on the blade. It is a very pointy blade, so you could actually hurt yourself. Um, it has a very cool design, and on top it is a skull with a little hood on, and it also has a valid backside with a very, very, very cool spinal design. And yeah, River did not completely lose the touch of her original staff design. She kept the little bow, and also the bow is wrapped around her staff or her scythe handle. The scythe does not have a real handle, but it has a little nub so that River can hold the scythe for real. I like the scythe. It is a very big scythe, and I've always been a big fan of scythes, simply because they look cool and they're the main part of a Reaper. So yeah, that's the scythe. we are now coming to the doll. Also, what I forgot to mention was to get out the little piece of plastic with the glitter, and it's actually, and I have to put it on the floor right here. It is a very loose put it in glitter thing, so you can actually touch the glitter and have it immediately all over you. It is simply just a piece of extra plastic put in place so that the glitter cannot escape. This is literally the saddest hourglass that I have ever seen in my life, and I'm going to put it like this so that not, I don't do it like this because then maybe it gets open and then the glitter spills everywhere. So, yeah. It also was very easy to rip it off the hourglass. So, just to let you know that. Um, and on the back of the box, obviously, is a certificate of blah 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 blah. We know that. So, um, River. We want to talk about River and not her box anymore, because her box is not the best part about her. It is her. And I love this River doll. If we ignore the AI box design and we are talking purely about River, then I have to say I love this doll. I love all of her. I love her whole outfit. I love all of the details. And I'm going to show you in great detail all of her details. And as always, we are starting with her head. Okay, so the very first thing I wanted to start talking about her is actually her face, because in comparison to her old or G1 basic doll, her Collector face has a very, very distinct and different feature, because her face has a skull in it, which means her face is actually translucent, except for the nose for some reason. But you can see she definitely has a skull in her or under her face. And it gets even more obvious when I get her basic doll's face right next to her, because we can see her Collector face has a very clear skull underneath, and her basic doll has this shimmering, non translucent head. Also, her makeup. Her makeup got a lot more mature. We still can see her big eyelashes, the beautiful blue eyes. The eyes are now a lot more detailed. Her brows are still a light blue and or a light purple. Her eyeshadow is a light blue, and she has a very darkish blue under or over the cut crease. It's a very, very, right here, it's a very dark bluish eyeshadow. I just love her eyes. Her eyes kinda got so much more striking in comparison to her basic doll. Like, her base doll's eyes are also still very, very blue, very, very striking, but her whole look just matured a ton. Like, you can see she has gotten older. And you can see that she has become more does her basic doll want to come up a bit more? I made her float, so that's why she's a bit lower. Maybe now. Yes, that should be working. So you can see her base doll's eyes are still blue, but she's looking a bit more cuter. The Collector doll is looking a lot more striking, a lot more mature, obviously. Her lips have gotten a darker purple makeup to match her chest piece, while her basic doll has a very light purpley lip. Well, mine has actually very faded the lines over her lips, and a lot of other collectors had a common. Well, everyone I think had the issue that the lines of her mouth, which are supposed to be like teeth, are very very crooked. Like a lot of people have the same crooked mouth problem as well as me. Her face is very straight, but like the line is very, very crooked, and it kind of makes sense. It kind of doesn't make sense. I think the crookedness comes to her upper lip actually being so big and a bit tilted upwards, like right here, it looks tilted upwards, and that's why her line looks so misplaced, I would say. Um, Other than that, I think her face is really still. It's just wow. I'm in love with this face, and I cannot stop talking about her face because it's so beautiful, especially compared to her base doll. Like, she is pretty in both versions, don't get me wrong, but I just love her collector doll a lot more because she looks a lot more dark-ish and a lot more, yeah, I don't know. It just sits a lot more right with a real Grim Reaper to be a lot darker than her colorful trainee base doll version. And with that, we are going over about her accessories because this doll has another very interesting feature because her base doll, like, I know it's all no news by now, but her base doll is a skull. She has the Scolida head mold, and that means she does not have any ears. But her Collector doll actually has, if I can make it visible, her Collector doll has ears. Right here, you can see it. Yeah, right here, you can see it. Her Collector doll has ears for whatever reason, which is fine because she is wearing those very cool and very ghostly earrings. I think the earrings look actually very cute. Yep, they look very, very cute. And she is wearing a headband of some sorts that goes on her head. I would prefer it to be a bit lower, to be more in front of her eyebrows. Also, mine over here has a little glue problem, which we ignore. So, yeah, I just wish that all of those details were a bit lower so that I can put her hood very very deep down and still would be able to see it, because like this you only see it a bit and not as much as I would love to see. But I think I can fix that later. I just was too lazy to fix it for now. So the next thing that immediately stood out to me was her neck part, because she has a little, I don't even know if I can swoop it up enough. Here you can see it a teeny tiny bit. It's a little button that keeps her um cape where it is supposed to be, or it looks like it's closed up. I don't know if it's a functioning button or not, but it looks very cute. It looks like it's tied to this blue extra piece, so I'm pretty sure it can go it can open at the back of her head, at the back of her neck. So yeah, we have already seen her face and a lot of cute details around her neck. And if I turn her right now, we will see horrors. Because obviously her hair has to go somewhere, and I have very horrible out of box collector hair. So You can see that there are supposed to be curls, so I'm definitely going to give her hair a good wash. It is saran. Thank God it is saran. And it has the same colors as her basic doll has, but the blue is like on the very top, so you cannot see the other colors very, very well. So it's a mix of pinks and purples. It's not a real orange. It looks a bit orangey on in real life, but only in certain angles. It actually looks a lot more pink than orange, but maybe that's what her hair was always supposed to look like, and just my old doll had, for some reason, has sun damage, and that's why there's pure fucking orange in her face, in her head, but that's fine. So yeah, it is saran. It is pretty long actually, and I think it still looks very cool, very cute, but it is hidden by the gigantic cape. Anyways, and right now we are at almost the perfect position to start talking about River's fashion, and the biggest part of her fashion is her purple chrome chest piece with a rib cage and chain details. Also, it's like a double, it has a cute little baroque inspired detail up here, and it is obviously a rib cage. I think it doesn't go, yeah, it does not go around fully around her, but it still looks very, very cute. And then obviously under that, she is wearing, I looked under her skirt, she is wearing a light blue bodysuit, and she's wearing this very cute, um, two-layered skirt, or three-layered skirt, I'm sorry. And under that, you can see that she is wearing a little laced bodysuit under her chest piece. Um, and also, um, she has on her arm, she has those little, um, bracelets. So they are also elevated versions of her bracelets that she had when she was still not graduating, when she was still learning. I think they are tied onto this because they are part of her cape situation going on here. So she has that on both of her hands, even though you cannot see it very well because she was holding the scythe. So it is on this side here as well. But I think it's a cool, cute detail. It's bows, it's purple, it's chains, it's basically all screaming. Not Scara screams, it is all very River Styx, Reaper coded, and now I'm going to zoom because, yeah, well, I zoomed out. So, because the next thing that we are talking about is River's cape, and her cape is very big. I love big capes. If I could wear big capes for real every day of the year, every year, I would do that all the time because her cape is so gorgeous. It is ginormous. It is metallic. On camera, it looks silvery, but in real life, it is a very light purple. And on her other side, it is blue-ish, I would say, and has a second layer on top with it, which is the lace material, which I showed you before. It is the same lace material that is on her arms that I was moving around earlier, so that I could show you the whole thing, how it works. I'm going to display her more cutesy once I'm done with the unboxing, but for now, this is actually perfect. And yeah, it is a very big cape. It is a very, very poofy cape as well. So it is longer than her, obviously. Floats, it will look perfectly fine, actually. And the almost, oh well, yeah, the almost last thing about her fashions are her shoes, which I now have to go even further down to show you her shoes. And you can immediately see this very cute detail on her shoes because we have bones, we have little pillars of bones, and yeah, it's very Greek coded. You can see here there are little figurines and stuff on the bottom of her platform heel, and if I turn her foot around, you can see that we have object heels, but we have matching object heels. Yes, it is you would say it is a what's it called again? A spine. It is a spine. A very cool looking spine. We also again get chain details and little figurines, and they feel rubbery, the shoes, but most of the shoes feel very rubbery. Again, on the front we have a bone design. And I always love to display her doll's feet in general like this, so that I can see at least one front of the foot and one side, because sometimes the side profile reveals hidden details on the shoes. So yeah, we have that. And the next big thing about this river is an updated version of her body, because as we can see in her body is slightly translucent, and in her body we can see that she has visible bones. So they are like filled in. Those bones are hollow on the inside, and they get filled with a white different plastic material to make them look like they have bones. They made it the same way with the old basic river, so that the basic river has basically filled in cavities or holes where they then look like bones. And this river has the lower legs the same as her basic doll has. I'm going to try to show it to you. I mean, you know Basic River. You can see it right here. Her basic doll also has the filled in bones, but they are a lot more refined in the collector edition, and also they look a bit thinner than her basic doll's legs, but I think she's still the same height. I think she still has the little body sculpt, the little scissor body sculpt. The new thing about this river is that she also has upper leg bones, which I really love because I just love to see the skeleton. The peg situation right here, where you can see where the doll is like clipped together, is a bit distracting, but it's fine, I would say. Yeah, the basic doll just has the lower arms and the lower legs see-through, and the upper arms and legs are this solid, shiny purple color. Um, and the hands are also a bit different, but we are getting to them in a second. Okay, so I was able to remove the little sleeve thing of the hood, and it seems like it's an extra piece of clothing because this is like her sleeve and this is just an extra level of sleeve. So talking about hands and arms, I just kept the little bracelet on because you can't see anything important, and the biggest important bit is her hand, and her hand is not painted on only anymore. It is filled in, at least the hand main part of her hand, and not her fingers. I think her fingers would be too thin to be actually filled in, but she still has a white peg, which is, her hands are pretty hard to move actually because of the exposed peg, but it's fine. Her lower arm up until the elbow is also filled in like her counterpart, her basic doll. where you can see that it is filled in, but her upper arm is not. You can see where the peg ends, and the upper arm just straight up has no bones. You can just see the very ugly peg and how it is plugged in. So they did hide it very cleverly with the sleeve. So it looks like her arm has a bone. Right here, it looks like there's a bone, but it's actually just her peg. So she has no bones in her upper arms, which is sad, but it's fine, I guess. Okay, so now I adjusted the both dolls to show you the differences, because on the G1 doll you can clearly see that we have the little bone details printed on the fingers and on the hand, but on the newer doll you can see that we have the hand filled in and no prints on the fingers. I personally would have appreciated it if they printed it like the old doll, if they at least printed the pegs onto the hand. I am personally thinking of, if it is possible, to actually switch around the hands so that the Collector doll can have the G1 hands. But maybe that's not a very good match skin tone wise, but I will see. And on the G1 doll, you can see that G1 doll also has this filled in um, hand arm bone situation. So, but no clear upper arm. So they made the Collector doll a lot more clear. Hello. I did not intentionally made it that you, oops, stared into the viewer's eye. Anyways, so yeah, they also, I saw pictures of the river doll being completely see-through with no actual bone structure in her main body, which I don't understand, because back in the day, the back in the day, they made the create a monster dolls, no, the inner monster dolls, and they also have at least a spine situation going on, so I don't understand why they didn't do it on this Collector River. I mean, they could have at least gave her in her body a spine, or at least a hip situation, but the pictures that I have seen had nothing, and she just looks very weird because you can see all the screws in how the doll is actually put together. So I'm not going to show you this because, first off, I don't want to, and second off, because I'm lazy and I don't want to undress all of this because it's annoying and I don't want to. So hopefully I don't forget it to put pictures on this screen side right here, how she looks without her clothes and with only her naked body. But yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to pose her real quick. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention that on her other hand, she's holding this actually working hourglass. I don't know how long the seconds are, but I believe it's maybe like 2 to 3 seconds. So we're going to test it out now. Ten, I would say 10, 9 to 10 seconds is this hourglass. Maybe it's 6 to 7, I don't know. But yeah, it is a real working hourglass. It's a cool looking hourglass, and I love that it is working. So yeah, pretty cool. And since you can actually turn it, it has actually a function. I think that's a cool little extra that she is holding an hourglass. I kept the little plastic string because she's actually pretty hard to pose with the little plasticky thing on. So I think I do it like this. It is kind of working, I think. So, okay, so wait. Okay, so this is now River's final pose. I made her float on the little stickeroonie, and I think she looks pretty cool actually. And I'm super happy and super hyped to have this doll. I love her details. I love all of her posing possibilities. I love her new body sculpt, and I just love that she's a Grim Reaper. I'm sorry, but it's just the Grim Reaper was my favorite mythical creature since forever. So she really was a no-brainer for me to get. And I really hope that you could appreciate her with me together in this unboxing with all of these glorious and beautiful details. I definitely look forward with her to make cute and gorgeous pictures with her. Maybe maybe I do a photo shoot at night. I would love to see her in a gloomy setting at a cemetery, maybe with a few dim lights around her, just to give her really this Grim Reaper appearance. I mean, she's standing in a doll kitchen, to be fair. Like, she's standing in a doll kitchen, and it still works, you know? It really still works. And I think I just found my thumbnail for this. Well, okay, I almost found it. The fucking oven was open. Now it looks better. Yeah, so I really love this doll. I'm happy I got her, and all of her little details are just so gorgeous, and I'm so happy to have her. Like, if we compare her to her G1 counterpart, I think her counterpart doll looks cute though. I think she really looks cute. Um I mean, yes, my G1 doll is not complete and stuff like that, but I think they really tried to make it work. You know, they really made the G1, I think, just like compare them. They really gave her a glow up that she deserved. And I'm glad they did pick River, because River was such an underrated character. I love the haunted movies, so in general I'm in love with all of the haunted dolls basically. And yes, I'm very glad to own a River that is at least 80% complete. And let me know what you think about the new River Styx doll. Tell me what you don't like about her, because I'm pretty sure there are people out there that do not like her, which is also valid. Every opinion is a valid opinion as long as you're respectful. You can hate on her, but be respectful, okay? So yeah, basically that's it for my very long unboxing and yep session about this River Styx doll. Thank you for watching, and please, I hope I will see you in my next video. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more of videos like this, and follow, because more videos like this will follow in the future. Bye!